Hello everyone, welcome to the mathematics class by Mr. Sandeep from the Millennium School, Mohali. Life is impossible without maths. Every work of our daily life is based on some concept of maths. Whether you are at home or at market, mathematics is always applicable there. So, last time also we have discussed about a concept of maths, that is direct proportion, on which many of the activities of our daily life are based. Today's topic is also related with that. So before moving to our today's topic, let us remind about the term variation. Last time also we have discussed about the variation. So one more time I would like to remind you about this variation word, right? So variation and the proportion both are the same things, only the words are different but their meanings are same. So variation word has been taken from the word vary. Vary means change. So we are going to talk about the change that occurs between the quantities during an experiment or the activity. Okay, for example, so last time also I have given some examples that were related with the direct proportion, and today I am going to give an example which is related with the today's topic. Okay, for example, you all alone are going to clean your single room, and for that if you are taking 1 hour, and for the same room if your brother is also going to help you and doing the same amount of work as you are doing, then it will be possible to clean the room in 30 minutes only. Okay, so if you are alone, then you are able to clean in 1 hour, and if you are two persons are there, then you will be able to clean in 30 minutes. So what is happening over here? When the number of persons are increasing, there is the decrease in the number of time. Okay, so if one is increasing, other one is decreasing. So due to the change, here we can say due to the change in the first quantity, there is a change in the second quantity also. Okay, so if such kind of changes or the relationship is there between two quantities, then we can say the two quantities are in proportion or variation, right? Clear? So depending on the type, like last time also I told you, depending on the type we have divided the variation in the two parts. The first one is direct proportion, right, that we have discussed in the last session, and the second one is what? Inverse proportion. So we are going to today discuss about the inverse proportion, right? So our today's topic will be inverse proportion, and what kind of change is there? Proportion means variation and variation means the change. So if one quantity is increasing, other one is decreasing, so reverse is there. Okay, so if we want to get the knowledge for the topic, we have to engage ourselves in some of the problems from our daily life. So just have a look on the first problem, that is time taken at 120 kilometer per hour. Suppose you are moving from one place to another place, or you can say from place A to place B at the speed of 120 kilometer per hour. Okay, so again between A to B, if you are moving at the speed of 60 kilometer per hour, then how much time would it require? So can you give the answer for that? Try to give the answer to yourself. Now first time that speed was 120 kilometer per hour and you were taking 1 hour from place A to B. The places are fixed, okay, A to B only. And at the second time you are moving at the rate of 60 kilometer per hour, then how much time you will take? Definitely it is going to double, because your speed is getting half and definitely your time will be more. And this is exactly for from your general life. Many times you are visiting to the some places with your parents, So there you can experience the thing. If your father is driving the car at a high speed of 120, then you are reaching that place very soon in a short interval of time. But if your father is driving the car at slow speed of 50 or 60, then you are getting bored. You can say, Papa, please drive more fast. We are getting late. So that also you know that if you will drive the car at high speed, then definitely you are going to take the less time, right? So one quantity is decreasing, other one is increasing. Clear? Come to the second example. 8 pipes is equal to 30 minutes. So I have written them in the short. I have not written in the full statement. So here it is clear we are talking about pipes and the time taken. Suppose you are filling a container and you are using 8 pipes and you are able to fill the container in 30 minutes. Okay, in the second case, if you will reduce the number of pipes, only 4 pipes you will use, then try to think. That is the common sense only. If you will use less number of pipes, then time required will be more. So here you can see I have taken the half numbers. 8 pipes gets reduced to the half, that is 4 pipes, and definitely time is going to be the double. Okay, so if the number of pipes will be less and the time required will be the more. So here also you can see one quantity is decreasing and other one is increasing. Come to the third example. That's also from your general life. Okay, maybe sometime you are calling some person to do some work at your home. Suppose you are calling 2 workers, and for a particular work they are able to complete the work in 8 days, right? Then in the second condition, if you double the number of workers, then more work will be done every day. So what will happen? So they will be able to finish that particular work in less number of days. So what is happening over here? We are just doubling the number of workers, and therefore the time or the days will be half, definitely. So that will that will be completed in 4 days only. After that, come to the last one, and that is totally from your general life. Every day, beta, you are going to the school, attending the lectures, and in every school some fixed number of lectures are there. So here also we are taking the same example. So if there are 10 lectures in a school, each of 30 minutes, okay, one lecture is of 30 minutes and there are 10 lectures, and school time will remain same. If you are entering the school at 8 o'clock, if your school is starting at 8 o'clock and ending at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, then interval will remain same, only the number of lectures will be increase or decrease. And now try to think, because of some reason sometimes we are decreasing the number of lectures, that is now they are 8, then what will be the time period of each lecture? Definitely whatever the 2 lectures are reduced, that 30 plus 30 60 minutes will be distributed between all the 8 lectures, and that will increase the timing of each lecture. So this time you will be having each lecture of more than 30 minutes. So what we are getting over here, if one is decreasing, other one is increasing. So let's come to the next slide, that is, let's explore the things. So maybe we have discussed about the few examples. We have taken 4 examples from your daily routine, and I hope you have understood that also, and I hope you were able to answer them also. Okay, so later on you can read that examples one more time and try to get their answers. Okay, so now this is the time to explore the things. So what we have noticed over there, a few things we have discussed on the last slide, that the first thing, 2 quantities are involved. Even in case of direct proportion also 2 quantities were involved. So here also whatever the things or the activities or the works has been discussed on the last slide, in every example 2 quantities were involved. Okay. Second number, we have seen if one is increasing, other is decreasing. Number 3, if one is decreasing, other is increasing. So again I have taken as the left hand side or right hand side problem. On the left hand side, second number is applicable, and on the right hand side, this third number is applicable, right? Then come to the fourth one. If first quantity is A and other is B, then above cases can be represented as by the arrow diagrams. So you can see here arrows has been shifted a little bit. I am sorry about that, but you can see for the first A the arrow is upward, and for the first B arrow is downward. It means if A is increasing, B is decreasing. In the second figure, if A is decreasing, B is also increasing. Okay. So you can see here one quantity is decreasing, other one is increasing, and first is increasing, other one is decreasing, right? So this is the knowledge that we have got from the last examples, and now we are in the position to explain that what is actually inverse proportion. So what we have learnt, if one quantity is increases and other decreases, or if one quantity decreases and other increase, then the two quantities are said to be in inverse proportion. Is it clear to everyone? So one is increases, other one is decrease, and if one is decrease, then the second one will definitely increase. Clear? So you can keep in your mind the arrow diagram. That will be more beneficial for you. So mathematically we can write down A is proportional to 1 upon B. So you can read it like that. Otherwise you can also say A is inversely proportional to B. So here you will not say 1 upon B. A is inversely proportional to 1 upon B. Clear? Wherever 1 upon B is written, it means that is inversely proportional. And now we are going to remove the proportionality sign, that it will give you A is equal to K upon B. Last time also we have removed the sign of proportionality and we have placed over here K. What is K over here? That is constant of proportionality. And in the next line you are going to get over here AB is equal to K, right? So this is the relation, mathematical relation, that we have got about the inverse proportion. So product of A and B should be constant, that is equal to K. Clear? So now we can also show the inverse proportion with the help of the graph. You can look at the screen, the graph is visible over there. If the graph of two quantities is the curved one, this is a curved graph, then definitely that graph is going to be of a inverse proportion, right? If you remember, the graph for the direct proportion was a straight line, and for the inverse proportion the graph will be a curved line. Clear? So we have learnt everything about the basics and the theory of the inverse proportion. Now this is the time to get the practical knowledge of the inverse proportion or of the today's topic. So let us extend our topic or extend our knowledge for the inverse proportion by discussing a few examples. Come to your question number 1. So you can see here, I can tell you in the starting only, all the problems will be parallel to the direct proportion. Okay, so if you have revised that direct proportion, it will be more and more easy to understand and to solve the problems for the inverse proportion. So let's come to our question number 1. Check whether x and y are in the inverse proportion or not. So let us remind about the direct. In direct also we have taken out the ratios x upon y for each and every value. If the x upon y values are coming same throughout, then we are saying the numbers are in direct proportion, and same we are going to do over here. So but here what is the change? Only we have to check out the multiplication, that is a b is equal to k. But here in place of AB, XY are there. So what you will do? You will just multiply these numbers. So 28 will be multiplied by its corresponding value of Y. That is 28 into 1. How much you are getting? 28. Then next one, 14 multiplied by 2, we are getting how much? Again 28. Very good. Then after that, we will multiply 7 into 4. How much we are getting? Again we are getting 28. So since x cross y, that is x multiplied by y, in each case is same, therefore x and y are in inverse proportion. So that will be the answer for this question, or you can say this is the method how to check the two ratios or quantities, how the two quantities x and y are in inverse or not. So you have to check their multiplication. If the answer of the multiplication is coming same, then you can say the given numbers or the quantities, they are in the inverse proportion. One more thing, if anywhere, suppose here we have calculated 3 products, 1, 2, 3. Any of the 3, if it is not coming to be equal to the other 2, then clearly you can write down the x and y, they are not in inverse proportion. Clear? I hope you have understood the question number 1, and after that I have written the question number 2 but in the reverse manner, as we have done in direct proportion also. So now I have taken the numbers in the ascending order. You can see the value of x, I have taken 7, 14, 28. You can see a gradual increase is there in the values of x, and now note down the values of y. They are getting 4, 2, 1. They are gradually decreasing. So here we can say x is continuously increasing and y is continuously decreasing. So there are the chances of inverse proportion. Still we can say there is a chance of inverse proportion. So how you can give the guarantee for that? You need to multiply. Here also 7 into 4, 28, 14 into 2, 28, 28 into 1, that is also 28. Since all the products x into y are same, therefore we can say x and y are in the direct proportion. So let's solve a few more examples to understand better the topic inverse proportion. Come to your question number 3. If A and B vary inversely, right? If A and B vary inversely, find the missing entries. Okay, so this time you are not supposed to check that A and B are in inverse proportion or not. They are already given in the inverse proportion. If they are given in the inverse proportion, then definitely the corresponding product of A and B should be equal to each other. So what can you say about here? Since, come to the solution part, since A and B vary inversely, very important to write down this line. Okay, first of all you have to declare whether A and B, they are in inverse proportion or they are in the direct proportion. According to that you will apply the relation, right? So therefore 30 multiplied by 2 will be equal to x into 5, and 30 multiplied by 2 will be equal to 20 multiplied by y. So what? Now you can find out the values of x and y from the given equations. Okay, so from the first one, 30 multiplied by 2, 60, and 60 divided by 5 will give you 12, and from the second equation, y will be equal to 30 into 2, 60 upon 20. After dividing you will get here y is equal to 3. So these are your missing entries that we have to find out. Okay, so that much about the question number 3. So let's move to the another slide to know more and more about the inverse proportion. Question number 4. A family of 4 has a stock of groceries for 30 days. If a guest comes to stay with them, then for how many days will the groceries last? So see, there are 4 members in a family and the grocery is lasting for the 30 days. So first of all check out how many quantities are there? There are always two quantities. So first quantity is number of members and the second quantity is number of days. So we can make the table for that. First of all, I have written in the on the top row, first row, number of members, that is 4, then the number of days will be 30. Now in the next statement, they are saying if a guest comes. Now if a guest is coming, then it doesn't mean that one of the family member will go out of the home, right? So that guest will also add up to the family members. First, family members were 4 and now 1 plus 1 candidate is more coming. So 4 plus 1 will become 5. So now this time, according to the second condition, the number of members will be 5. Now we have to find out the number of days. So now use your common sense. If one more person is coming, then definitely your groceries are going to complete or get over a few days before. Okay. So clearly, if one quantity is increasing, other one will definitely decrease. So it is the case of inverse proportion. So therefore, 4 multiplied by 30, the product of two quantities, will be equal to 5 multiplied by y. Clear? So this is the equation we have got from here, and you can find out the value of y, that is 4 multiplied by 30, that is 120, very easy, will be divided by 5, and after dividing the two numbers, and we are going to get here the answer 24, right? So that is the answer for your question number 4, and I hope you have understood it properly. It's very simple question from your general life, right? So let's move to the next example, that is question number 5. If 7 men can do a piece of work in 21 days, again we are discussing this example, already we have taken on the first page. How long will 3 men take to do the same work? The work is same, they are saying same work. There is no change in the work, less or more. The work is same, and now this time we are getting 3 men only. First it was 7, right? And they were taking 21 days. Now we are going to decrease the number of men, and definitely the work will end after 21 days. They will take more time. Okay. So what our common sense is saying? It is saying that this is the case of inverse proportion. So first of all, let's make the table for that. Two quantities are involved, that is first one is the number of men, that is 7, and second quantity is number of days, that is 21. So first time 7 is there, then number of days 21. How long will 3 men? Now in the second condition, you can note down the number of persons or the men are 3, and we have to find out the number of days. So you can suppose from your side that is equal to y. You may also take any of the other variable a, b, c, whatever is there, that is your choice. So clearly it is the case of inverse proportion. Always you have to write down the first line. Then if it is in the inverse proportion, then therefore the product of 7 and 21 should be equal to 3 and y. So according to that we are writing 7 multiplied by 21 is equal to 3 multiplied by y, and further you can write down y is equal to 7 multiplied by 21 divided by 3. You can see on the screen. So all the rules for changing the sides or the transformation, they are old, we have already discussed in the junior classes, but still if you don't know, then you definitely need to work over there, okay, because that is a part of calculation. So 3 can be cancelled out by 21, will give you 7, and 7 multiplied by 7 will give you further 49 days. Clear? And here you can check your answers also. In the starting only, what our common sense was saying, if we are decreasing the number of men, then definitely our number of days must be increasing. So what we are getting over here? We are getting here 49 days. So days has been increased. It means our answer is correct, right? So in exam, if you are getting less than 21, if your common sense is correct, and if you are getting the answer less than 21, it means something wrong is there, some mistake you have done in your calculation. So you have to go through your calculation and you can correct your answer also, right? So I hope you have understood this question also. They are very simple questions as from your general life only, okay? So you can better understand your daily life work also. So let's move to our question number 6 also. A factory requires 42 machines to produce a given number of articles in 56 days. Read it carefully. To produce a given number of articles. So some specialty is there in the word a given number of articles, means the number of articles are fixed. Okay, so here what are the two quantities? The first one is the number of machines, that is 42, and the second quantity will be number of days. So we will make the table for these two quantities only, keep in your mind. Then come to the second one. How many machines would be required to produce the same number of articles in 48 days? Now they are asking for the number of machines. Okay, so what we can see here, the number of days 48, they are decreasing. And think about the problem. If the number of machines are 42 and if you are going to increase the number of machines, then definitely your work is going to complete in the less number of days. Okay, so here we are getting 48. It means your number of machines should be increasing. So this problem is from your indirect proportion. So let us make the table for that. Number of machines 42 first time, second time we have to find out. So you can suppose from your side that is x. Then in the second row, number of days, first time in case of 42 machines it is taking 56 days, and for the second condition it is taking 48. So indirect proportion is there. So what should be there? The product of 42 and 56 must be equal to the product of x and 48, and the same we have mentioned on the screen. So 42 into 56 is equal to x multiplied by 48. Further you can find out x is equal to the product of 2 divided by 48. So you can cancel out the numbers, okay, and after cancelling, whatever the answer you are getting, that will be the last, and that is 49 machines. And try to write down machines also side by side. Okay, so now you can see here how many machines are there, 49. The number of machines are increasing, that's why only the number of days are decreasing. So it means our answer is correct. Clear? So you can see here whatever the problems or questions we are discussing over here, they are totally from your general life. You can see there in your surroundings. Okay, so try to feel. Even in the starting of the session I have told you that life is impossible without maths. Now it's clear. Whatever the questions we have taken, these are from your general life, and you can now realize that yes, life is not possible without maths. Okay, so what you need to do, you have to start loving your subject, that is maths. Don't hate it. If you will love it, then only you can learn it. Okay, and mathematics is what? That is the other name of the practice. So give a lot of practice to your mathematics, and for that I have done a little bit work. I have planned some of the questions. Only 4 are there in numbers. You can solve these questions if you want to learn more and more about inverse proportion. Clear? And after solving these 4 questions, I hope you must be able to solve the other problems which are given in your textbooks. Okay, go through all the examples and each and every question of your book exercise, and definitely you will be able to solve this. Clear? So this much only about this inverse proportion. So try to explore more and more about this topic, right? And in the last I would like to say very thankful to you for listening me for a long time. God bless you all.